All right. I want to start today off with a question. And that is when things are going well, they tend to get better. But when things are going poorly, they tend to get worse. Do you often find that that's the case? Share in the comments below if you've ever experienced a time where you were on top of the mountain, things were going great, and they just continued to get better. You've got momentum, positive vibrations, positive energy, and you are moving towards the things that you really want. And then we have days where the opposite is happening and things are not going well. You wake up in the morning and maybe you stub your toe or you woke up late and things start to spiral. They spiral downwards. Hey, we've all had those times. Just share below if you've ever experienced either the positive side or the negative side. Because today, that's what we're talking about, is how to move from this place of the negative spiral, the negative momentum towards the things we don't really want in life, and how to create momentum and transition towards where we do want to be. My name is Nick Larson.
I'm Kayla Larson.
And I want to welcome you to the School of Potential, where we really help you in your youth to expand your mind and unleash your potential. And we do this through providing you not practices and techniques necessarily. Well, we do provide them, but we want to really give you the principles, these success principles, that when you have those as a foundation in your life and in your mind, you are going to continually progress towards the things you truly desire in life. And then you're going to start to be able to implement the strategies and the practices that work for you. Because while strategies and practices are great, what works for me may not work for you. And what works for you may not work for me. And the same goes for you. But principles, laws, universal laws, they stand the test of time, right? And they're foundational for you. So I want you to really listen, open your mind, because a closed mind will not accept new ideas, and really dive into to today's lesson. Awesome. So we're chatting about moving in, getting this flow of momentum from where we are to where we want to be. And I think it really boils down for us into three different things that you can do, 3 steps. You take out a pen and a piece of paper, you want to write these down. 3 steps that you can take and you can start to implement that are going to help you continually and consistently stay in the positive flow of life. And if you find yourself getting off track, these are going to bring you right back, right? So let's start with number 1. You want to start us off?
Exactly. Number 1 is gratitude. This is a principle that we've implemented in our life for quite some time now, and gratitude definitely does bring momentum. So many of you may be grateful for things when things are going well. You pass an exam or things are going your way and you just feel really good and you're so grateful for everything around you. But it can be a little bit difficult time to feel grateful when maybe the momentum's not going in the right direction. When you've spilt your coffee this morning, when you've stubbed your toe, and when things are picking up speed in the wrong direction. But this is where it's important to stop, pause throughout the day, and take a look at what you're thinking about, and really take a step back and into a point of gratitude. The exercise we like to suggest is waking up in the morning and writing out 10 things you're grateful for. So maybe starting that, like, I am so happy and grateful now that, and you can list those things, right? Having a bed to sleep in, having a home, some things, drinking water that we have and we take for granted so often that we forget that many millions of other people in the world don't have, right? So if we can make this a habit, neuroscience suggests the more we write out our gratitudes and focus on what we are grateful for, it will make these habits and neural connections stronger in our brain. So we're going to become better problem solvers. We're going to look for solutions, and then we're going to help to release those happy hormones in our mind as well.
Exactly, right? And this is where we start to get that momentum. It's like every day tapping into this. And like you said, it's easy to think about what we want when things are going well, right? And our mind is flooded with all these great things in our life. When they're not going so well, it's hard to think of. But I think what you said is so true, is like, we get a rush of these happy hormones in our mind, in our brain, when we start to do these on a consistent basis.
And maybe for you, if you're having a hard time picking something that makes you feel grateful, look at the people around you, maybe the pets, things that always make you fill up your love cup, as I would say. Those are things to start thinking about, because if you can connect in with those strong emotions, then you're going to feel that sense of gratitude. And what they say is the universe can only give you more is if you're grateful for what you already have.
That's right. This is also a great practice to use with your kids and your youth, right? Something that you can implement in the morning. Now, while this is a practice and a strategy that you're taking in place, it has a foundation of this principle, this success principle. You take at all the very successful individuals in our world today, and they all use the practice of gratitude, which is based on the principle that gratitude is this emotion, it's a vibration. And there's a natural law in our universe that states that everything vibrates. We literally live in this ocean of motion, and it's moving in form, through form, and out of form. And by tapping into gratitude, you are raising your level of vibration. Now, here's the cool thing, is that you may have heard about law of attraction. We teach a lot about law of attraction here, and that you can attract things into your life based on the thoughts you think. Well, it's not just so much about what you think. You've heard the saying, what you think about, you bring about. But I think a more truer statement is what you feel about is what you bring about.
And that's the key here. When you're doing your gratitude exercise, it's not just to write down 10 things and then, okay, check, I've done my list. No, it's about the feeling. Some days in the morning, I write down 2 or 3 things and I'm feeling so grateful. And then other days, I have to make it to a list of 50 to get that feeling sparked. So feeling is the key here.
Absolutely, right? Which brings us to our next point here, which the next step and principle that you want to bring in is this idea of repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You see, repetition is the first law of learning. I want you to think back to how you learned to tie your shoes, or how you learned math, or different equations or problems, or how to drive. It was all through the process of repetition. Now, like you said before, once you start to implement gratitude into your life, and you do this on a daily basis, pretty soon your brain and your body is just going to say, okay, we're just going to turn this into an automatic behavior, right? We all have automatic behaviors. You wake up in the morning and bang, you just move into action and you just do whatever it is that you think you have to do. It's all based on habit, right? Habitual way of being. And so what we want to do is consciously decide and place these success principles into our life, and then bring in repetition so that it just becomes an automatic behavior. Kayla and I started doing gratitudes, well, quite a handful of years ago. And we don't even have to think about doing it anymore. In fact, it's all done unconsciously. You probably get up in the morning and you brush your teeth. You don't have to consciously think about it. It's something that was just ingrained in you at a very early age, that in the morning and at night, and maybe, after a meal, you brush your teeth, right? And so that's what we want to do with this, is really ingrain this into us and have the repetition.
And then be there for each other. Maybe if we're not experiencing gratitude, to say, hey, buddy, you need a gratitude break, and then to go back and forth a couple of times, saying what we're grateful for, even when maybe something isn't going the way we like it to.
Exactly. And you see, this repetition is going to provide momentum for you. You see, we're not motivators here. This is not motivational speaking. While you may feel motivated, the goal is truly to help you create momentum in your life, because motivation is going to get you up in the morning. But it's momentum that's going to keep you going.
And to get started, and then to keep with it, right? Because truly, not every day you feel like, writing in your gratitude journal. Not every day maybe you feel like brushing your teeth. But once you have it as a habit, once you have those values as a foundation for, hygiene or health or whatever, then you're going to continue to do it. And that's where repetition and discipline really come in.
Exactly. So implement gratitude and repetition into your life, right? And start getting that momentum, because now you're going to flow into this new place that you want to be. You're focusing on what you want. The only thing, it was Emerson who said, the only thing that can grow in life is the thing you give energy to, right? Where are you giving your energy to? Maybe share in the comments below. Just think about where in your life, where are you giving energy to? Is it to what you want, or is it to what you don't want? You see, majority of us give so much of the energy that we have flowing in through our minds, and we're giving it all to what we don't want. And if you're thinking about what you don't want, you're generally going to get more of what you don't want. Switch it up. Think of what you do want, and you just watch how fast you're going to tip those scales, and you're going to get moving in the right direction and pick up speed and momentum. The universe loves speed, and it is so willing to play with you and to give you everything you desire when you start implementing these principles. You may have heard in relation to gratitude, you may have heard, or maybe you as a parent have said this before, where you look at a child and you say, if you don't stop complaining, I'm going to give you something to complain about. We've all heard it, right? The universe works in a very similar way. I want you to think about this. When you start to be really grateful all the time, and you're always sending out gratitude and grateful energy, the universe says, if you don't stop being grateful, I'm going to give you something to be grateful about. You
It
see,
works that way.
It does. Gratitude puts you into a receiving mode. You see, we're generally grateful when we have received a gift or someone's time or energy. And so when you put yourself consciously into a grateful state and a vibration, you have opened yourself up, right? You see, if I have this pen in my hand and I close my hand, right? If I'm so closed and I've got a closed mind and I'm not open, well, yeah, sure, this can't leave, but I also can't receive anything new. But if I open up and I put myself into a grateful state, right? Sure, this could leave, but I also open it up that I can receive more in my life, right? And you can do the same. You can do the same. So number 3, then, what we want to talk about in creating the momentum is movement. On my little guy here. Right? Movement. Now, I want you to think for a moment about this idea of movement and momentum and motion. Okay, really think of this word motion, right? We are physical beings and we're operating within the physical world, and we move. We got physical bodies. But what causes that motion? What causes the action in our life, right? So I want you to think about this. You have thoughts, and it's those thoughts that produce feelings or emotion. And it's the feelings that cause actions, and it's the actions produce results. Think about a time in your life where you were just really emotionally involved in something. Maybe you wanted a new vehicle. Maybe you wanted to go on a trip. Maybe you really wanted to help somebody, make an impact, make a difference in the world. I can guarantee you that those were tied to emotion, right?
It gets us activated right away. Or even like, think about a parent with their kids. You're going to do anything to help out your child so they can feel better, succeed, and do better, right?
Exactly. So let's take a look at this word emotion then, right? And we're going to break it up and put a dash in there, and we're going to call it emotion. Now, you may have never heard this before. And I remember when I heard this, it was like a light bulb went off in my mind. I started to understand like how my mind was working. You see, emotion is energy in motion, and it's your inner motion and movement that is going to cause your outer motion and movement, or your momentum, right? And so if you want to create momentum, if you want to create movement in your life towards the things that you want, we've got to tap into the inner motion, the energy in motion within ourselves, right? What is it that you want? And the bigger question then is, how does that make me feel? How do I want to feel? What would I love, right? You're sitting there, you wake up in the morning and you're staring with your sensory factors, with your eyes, you're staring at what you don't want. That's gonna cause you to feel what you don't want. And it's that feeling and energy and vibration that causes an action or
lack of
an action, right? And so now you're stuck, you're stagnant, and we've got no momentum. But when you tap into the thoughts and the feelings of what you do want, you're going to set up a beautiful vibration that's going to cause a natural action towards the things that you desire, right? And so it's that motion. that we really want to create. Now, it's not just the inner motion that can cause, this emotion. Sometimes, in fact, all the time, if you are feeling, say, you're just not feeling very good, right? You've got
Anxious
negative
or
emotions.
nervous or
Yeah,
scared or just not having the best morning, say.
exactly. And so while our thoughts cause our feelings and feelings cause actions, the same is true for when we go out and we take action and we say, you know what, I'm just going to get out there. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go for a run. Even though I don't feel very good, I'm going to do it anyways. And the action will usually produce an emotion, right?
So we can use our words to influence our thoughts, to influence our body, to get us to move, but we can also use motions to help change that internal dialogue and that feeling. Because as we know, as we exercise and we move, our brain is going to flip onto that higher frequency, produce those hormones more in line with this gratitude, and we're going to be able to better connect into that, feeling that momentum. And just like a snowball at the top of a hill rolling down, we can either slow that momentum if it's in the right front or in the incorrect direction or the one we don't want, and we can speed up the momentum to go in the direction that we do want.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I want you to think, what's the best time to start creating momentum in the day? Afternoon, evening, morning? Well, I'll tell you, it's absolutely the morning. First thing when you wake up in the morning, you want to start getting in the right direction and the momentum of where you want to be. It's literally the best time to start creating what it is you want for the day and for your future, right? When you own the morning, you own the day, right? So we want to provide you with kind of a suggested morning routine where you can start to implement gratitude, repetition, and movement.
And you can do this with yourself, you can do this with your kids, you can adapt it and make it for you, as long as you're just keeping the principles and then having the flexibility with the strategy. That is the goal.
Exactly. So start off, wake up in the morning and move right into gratitudes. You may sit down, pen and a piece of paper, and start making a list of all the things you're grateful for, and really focusing, like you said, on not just the fact that you're writing them down, but how does it make you feel and why are you grateful for these things?
And when we're writing, it causes a lot more thinking and a lot more feeling than when we're just speaking. I know maybe some people will just count their gratitudes. That is an awesome way to start. If you can really get a journal and start writing them down, that's when you're going to evoke those deep feelings, as well as be able to reflect on the things you're grateful for in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. So start your day with that. You're going to notice that you're in a beautiful vibration. And then we highly suggest that everybody goes into some form of study in the morning. Kayla and I are big. We spend about an hour every morning studying, right? Or more, right? Really studying us and our infinite potential. Remember, we want to expand our mind. We want to really stretch this idea of who and what we are. And the secret of the ages is truly locked up in books. Get yourself a good book. If you ever need any advice or any suggestions on books, reach out to us. We'll be sure to give you a list of some phenomenal books that are going to expand your mind and have really helped Kayla and I to create and live the life that we truly want to live. And you can do the same. But get involved in some kind of study material. Maybe it's watching this video over. And not just once. You may want to watch over this 5 times, 10 times, 100 times even, because I guarantee you, as you listen to this over and over and over again, you're going to hear something in it different than you heard before. And then you're going to start changing. You're going to start shifting. You're going to start expanding who you are. And you don't hear things in this video or the book that weren't there before. You hear something in yourself that wasn't there before because you expanded. You changed. The book didn't. The video didn't. It was you who shifted, right? This is what we call the process of personal growth and expansion.
It's an unfoldment process.
Exactly. And then the third part to owning the morning and owning this morning routine would be to implement some movement. Get out, go for a walk, go for a run, maybe do exercise. I don't think it really matters.
Practice yoga, Tai Chi, whatever works for you.
Any form of movement, because that's going to cause you to get that energy in your body moving and direct it towards the things that you want in life. Remember what Emerson said, the only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to. So really become conscious to the things that you're giving your energy to today And I want you to share those in the comments below. Reach out to us. If you have any other further questions, reach out. We'll be sure to hop on a call with you and learn more about you and help you create a solid morning routine so that you can own the morning and own your day as well. Awesome. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.
Go expand your mind and unleash your potential.